Hello everyone, today I will talk about functional basic as my final draft math project. So let's start. What is a function? Basically, function is an expression, rule or law that defines a relationship between one variable, an independent variable, and another variable, the dependent variable. So what does it mean, this statement above? So input, let's suppose function as a function machine which has a rule of 7x. What I mean is, if like output and there's input, so anything you put in x will give you 7x. So this is very simply a function. The function is 7x. So okay, so anything you put as x would give you 7x. So input, let's say you in real life you put maybe yeast and some like water, and it would give you a bread. Okay, so the inputs are independent. You can put anything, you can put sugar, chocolate, anything, and the output is dependent to that input. Okay, so that's simply how it works. If you put 2 as your input, you would get 7 times 2, 14. If you put 5, you would get 7 times 5, 35. Okay, so that's how it works. So let's understand it in a better way by doing some exercises. So this statement is how it is, its notation, okay, in math. So x in here is an input, 2x plus 1 is the output. Okay, so anything you put as x would give you 2x plus 1. So this is the symbol of function. You can write g, h, it doesn't matter at all. If you put 2 as input, you would get 2x plus 1. So 2, if you write it 2 times 2 plus 1, you would get 5. This is how simple it is, right? It's very simple. 2 times 3 plus 1 give you 7, 5. 2 times 5, 5 over 2 plus 1 is 6. You are substituting the value instead of x. Let's move on. So this one is a bit different than this. We see plus 1. So what we need to do is we need to find the value which gives us 3 in this equation. So 3, if 3 is equals to x plus 1, then x is equal to 2, right? So we need to substitute 2 as x anywhere we see in here. 3 times 2 plus 2 would give us 8. For 5 is equal to x plus 1, 4 is equal to x. Okay, so 3 times 4 plus 2, 14. 9, x plus 1 is 9, x is 8. We need to write 8 instead of x. So we would get 24 plus 2, 26. Okay, so the last question here. So they want us to find x plus 2. Okay, so we need to substitute x plus 2 instead of x. So let's do it. So here 4 times x plus 2 plus 1 over 3. Let's 4x plus 8 plus 1, 3. So here it will be 4x plus 9 over 3. This is our answer. Let's continue. What is mapping? So basically, mapping is the Venn diagram type of showing function. Okay, so function can be shown as mapping because you are mapping elements in domain as input to outputs. For example, in real life there are like children and mothers, right? Let's suppose in a playground there are 4 children. brought by 3 different women. Okay, so let's say Mehmet is a child of Zeynep, son of Zeynep, Druis, Dilara''s, Ayşe's, Serpil's child. And Enes has to belong a mother, right? Because Enes is born by a mother. Enes can go to Serpil, let's say Serpil. As you can see, Serpil can have 2 different elements, like two different children. However, every children has to belong a mother. But for example, Drew can go to Zeynep, right? So Dilara can be left open. It's not a problem. Dilara might not have a children at all. So that's how function in Venn diagram works. So in domain, this as input we call it domain, as output we call it codomain. So these are the elements in domain, as you can see, A1, A2, A3. Codomain elements are B1, B2, B3, B4. So the range image is, what does range image means? Range image means the final result. So B1, B2, B3 are mapped. Let's say A1 goes to A1, A2 goes to A, B2, A3 goes to B3. B4 is left open. So this shows that this function is not completely the same, has the same range with the codomain. One element is left open. Let's quickly do this example here. 3x plus 5. So 1. Every element needs to be mapped with an element in the codomain, okay? So if we put 1, we would get 8. If we put 2, we would get 11. If we put 5 here, we would get 20. Yes, we would. If we put 10, we would get 35. If we put negative 10, negative 30 plus 5, negative 25. As you can see, this is our range here. Let's write the range. 8, 11, 20, 35, and negative 25. 4 is left open. It's not a problem. The problem occurs if an element goes to 2 different elements, or an element in the domain part is left open. That's where the problem occurs. So what is an identity function? Identity function is basically anything you put inside X is equal to the output. So for example, if you put 5, you would get 5. The input is equal to output. Domain is equal to the range, as you can see here. Okay, so 7 would give us, function 7 is 7. Function 99 is 99. Function k is k. This equation is same, x cube negative minus 5. And let's move on. Question 1. Question 1 is asking us to find the values a, b, and c. So as we know, in identity function, the range is same with the domain, okay? So there are no x squares in the range. So we need to find a value that eliminates x square, which is 0, right? So a minus 1 is 0. A is 1. Let's continue. So here, as you can see, b minus 5 is x, and there is 2x plus 2x. So let's do it. We are going to find x, so this value has to be negative x, right? So the coefficients has to be negative 1. Let's do it. Negative b plus 5 is negative 1. Negative b is negative 6. B has to be 6. What about c? C, there is negative 9 here. So to eliminate negative 9, c has to be 9. So we would get the answer x. So this is an identity function. As we know, identity function is equal to what is inside the function. So it is 7x plus 3. That's all. And here 2x plus 2 is equal to 50. 9x plus 5 is 50. 9x is equal to 45. X is equal to 5. Okay, so we are trying to find this. H is equal to 5 cubed is 125 plus 11, which would be 136. As it is an identity function, the value inside is equal to the value outside the range. So this is the identity function. Let's move on. Constant function. Lastly, what is a constant function? Constant function is very basic actually. Anything any domain is equal to one value as the range. Okay, so let's suppose fx is equal to 11, then f function 5 is equal to 11. Function 7 is equal to 11. 1001 is 11. Anything here has to be 11 because it only goes to one constant value. So this expression is right same expression, and x plus 28 is x plus 2. So sorry, I made a small mistake. It is equal to 11 and this is equal to 11 because they are constant, not identity. Be careful about them. So here we are going to find constant function. So as you can see, in constant function we need to find the only numbers, like no x terms. Okay, yes. So value of a. What is the value of a? To find value of a, we need to find the value that eliminates x here. So the coefficient 0 would be right. A minus 4 is 0, a is 4. So value of a is 4. So let's do the function fx is 4, 0 times x, negative 20 plus 3. Fx is equal to negative 17. So any value would be negative 17. What about here? So for such values, we need to do something like this. So x plus b, cx plus d. So for such rational expressions, it is written as b over d. Okay, so if we do it like this, we would get something like 9x over 3x is equal to k negative minus 2 over 3. So this is 3 over 1. K minus 2 is 3. So 9 is equal to k minus 2. K is equal to 11. Okay, so I hope you liked my final draft project, and in my reflection part I would want to include that time is a really hard thing to like complete the video. The limited time is 10 minutes, 12 minutes. I found it very hard, and I did my best to like complete all topics as the basics of the function. I hope you liked my video, and I tried to explain the basic of function, introduction, identity, and constant function, which I think they are very important for like some functional expressions and questions, maybe also in real life problems, maybe also in like programming or anything else in our real life. Function is huge, vastly used. So thank you for listening me. I hope you liked my video. I hope it will be beneficial. Have a good day.